Okay, so we went over the material, and as you can see, the materials are taking a really long time to render. So instead of me, taking this one and wasting time rendering, I'm just going to show you how I optimize a scene so I can do a fast render. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Render. I selected everything, and I selected this button, Create New Layer, and Assign Selected Objects. And with this one, I'll call this, well, I call it Development Render because that's what they are called. But I'll just put Test. Test. Or Development. So this render is basically what I'm going to use to dumb down everything, so that any lights or anything that need to be adjusted, I'm going to do it on this layer. So this render is kind of the render layer where you can mess with things. So let's say in my original render layer, I like everything here, but maybe in this one, things need to be changed a little. Let me go select this. Where's this guy? There's something hidden in there. Okay. So, test layer, original layer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my test layer, and I'm going to turn on my render settings. And what I'm going to do is go into indirect lighting and change a lot of the settings in here. So for global illumination, I'm going to keep it on, but the accuracy doesn't have to be 500. So I'm going to right click over accuracy and do create layer override. And I'm going to change this down to 40. Now, if you can see here, when I click on master and test, both of them change. So as long as you have the right layer selected, you can change these settings. Just always check and make sure. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. Accuracy for the final gather. Right click and where is it? Create layer override. Turn accuracy down. Like 15. Right click, create layer override, density down to barely there. That's funny. Normally this is up. I'm gonna keep that there. That doesn't really affect anything. Quality is pretty low. Filter size. Keep. I'm gonna keep these. These are pretty low. So this is really important. So now, in addition to that, I go to my common and change. Okay, it's already changed it pretty low. Now, when I render, this is moving pretty fast. And this is good enough for me to just go around, change lights. You can change materials. This is kind of the time where it's best to do tweaking. So first you're going to do your tweaking where you change your position of your lights, add lights, take them away, And then, you know, and also you can also add different materials to this too. And then you can go in and, you know, set everything back to something similar to the master layer. So, and this is kind of the one where you want to tweak and mess with things. So if I assign a new material here, and maybe this one I want to make a material X, but on this guy, maybe I want him to be Jade. So I'll select all his faces here, right click, and make him a subsurface. There we go. Assign new. And I'll put a material X on it. Hey, Jade. Actually, not material X. What am I doing? I'm going. I wanted to put not that, but I wanted to put a subsurface. There it is. So I'll do a MISS fast shader, and I'm going to create a new one since it's not letting me use an old one. There it is. So now this is a subsurface shader. Delete my history. And go from there. Okay. And then I can test this out. So let's say, you know, I want this to be another jar. So I'm just gonna delete all my history. Make my life easy. Get really reflective. I don't want any color on here. Alright, render this out. So this goes very fast. There is less bounce on here. I don't expect you, when you guys are kind of switching lights around, to really have this on at that point. So, you know, if you're still kind of moving lights around, messing with settings, trying to get the right mood in here, don't worry about it. Do this. You know, if you like the texture, so let's say you do like this glass texture. If I go into my channel box, I go back here, see everything's back to normal. So I would go into my master and then assign existing and then go find jar 2. and put it on here. But if you just want to test things out, this is a good way of how to do it. Okay? One more, well, not one more, there's a couple. So another thing you can do to test this, so if you just want to wipe out all your material, you can right click, go to override, and then create new material override, and then you can override everything with a, let's say, Lambert, or if you just want everything to be shiny, MIA material, Fongy, etc. But you can override everything in your scene and test everything out as well. So, and your original scene will still be intact. So, and you know, as you can see, you can undo it. So, doing this, separating out your test layer can kind of help you interpret, you know, what is working, what isn't, what's taking too long. But in the long run, you know, this is the way that you can actually come in and adjust, see what's working, see what's not working, see what's slowing down your computer, whether it could be this could be a material, it could be lighting. So this kind of will help you determine, well, this is one of the ways it can help you determine what's taking up so much space. Okay, so this is one use for render layers. Is to just make a test layer, see what's going on, modify your layer so you can change things, see what's going on, and test why things are going so slow in your render, or to speed up your render. Okay, so this is the first part of just going over a render layer. Next one we'll start talking about what or how we can do render passes. And then after that, then we'll break it down to making lighting layers